Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Anton from FinanceNoobs.com, and welcome to my podcast. This is episode 2, and today we're going to be talking about credit and how to get credit when you don't have credit, or if your credit is just poor and, there's a lot of blemishes on it. So, my friend actually had very poor credit, and the one thing that I really wanted to do was help him restore his credit. I thought it was going to be tough because what happened was that he had a credit score of under 500. He had a lot of blemishes, a lot of just unpaid stuff for the last few years, and it looked really bad. And I would have even thought they would have denied him for a secure card. So I wasn't even too confident. So what happened was that I actually told them to apply for a Discover secure card. That's actually the card that I would recommend to most people, either a Discover secure card or a Citibank secure card. I would stay away from Capital One because Capital One kind of screwed me. And they basically told me I needed to close the card if I wanted my money back. Now, closing your first card is the dumbest thing that you could possibly do. I did it because I wanted my money back. I regret it, but at the same time, I don't want to do business with a bank that is basically holding my money hostage. Everybody else gives you your money back, but Capital One doesn't. So, I would not recommend Capital One. I would go for Discover Bank, or I would go for Citibank. Now, before I get into how to get into that secure card, I will ask you to do one thing first. Now, if you're a student, I would recommend you to apply for a student card. One card, no more. When you apply for so many cards, it actually ruins your credit, and that's what I don't want you to do. So, if you're between the ages of 18 and 26, I will apply for a student card if you're in school. If they deny you, then that's fine. Then we're going to go for the secure card. Now, let's say that you're not a student. If you're not a student and you want to apply for a card, I would go for a regular credit card. Those are usually credit cards that have no type of benefits. They have no rewards points. They don't have anything. All they have to offer you is high interest rates that basically screw you over, and sometimes annual fees. Now, I would say to apply for a platinum card. A Capital One Platinum card is fine. It's very high interest though. But when you actually do my plan, you would never have to pay for interest. So, Capital One Platinum, and there's a few other banks that actually have regular credit cards. They're basically called starter cards. I will always consider them like level 1, level 2 cards in my chart. I still haven't done my chart yet. We're going to get to that soon. But I would go for one of those platinum cards and apply for that. Now remember, if you was a student and you applied for one of these cards, for a student card, don't apply for a platinum card. It's almost the same thing, and they're going to deny you, and then now you're going to have 2 inquiries on your credit. And then it's going to be harder to even get a secure card because they're going to think that you're desperate for credit. I'm just running through certain options for certain people. So please, if you're ready, apply for your student card, don't do it. Now, if you're not a student and you apply for a platinum card and they denied you, then we're gonna go for the secure card. Okay, that's gonna be our next step. Now, when we apply for a secure card, you actually have to make a deposit. Like I said, I would recommend Discover or a Capital One credit card. Discover or Citibank credit card, secure card. Stay away from the Capital One secure cards. They're not really meant for building your credit. They say they are, But if you have to close your money, I mean, if you have to close the account to get your money back, then they're not helping you. They're basically holding your money hostage. So unless they're gonna change that, then it's not worth it at all. So most secure cards actually start around $200. Please, if you're gonna not do those 2 credit cards that I had mentioned and you go for another bank, which is perfectly fine, make sure there's no annual fee. You do not want an annual fee on any secure card or any card at all unless they're going to give you some type of benefit. And we'll explain that much later. But if a secure card, you're going to have 0 annual fee. So let's say we start off with $200. If you go and you get a secure card for $200, this means that you can never have more than $18 as a balance on your credit card, according to my plan. Because you're only allowed to have a 9% balance maximum to actually get excellent credit. So, if it's $200, remember you can't have more than $18. If you get a $500 card, that means you can't have more than $45 as a balance. Now, that doesn't mean that you cannot buy something. So let's go, for instance, you have a $500 card. If you have a $500 card, and that means you can't have more than $45, right? According to my plan. But what you could do is buy something for $250 with that credit card, because, you get all the securities of a credit card with a secure card. And once that purchase posts on your account, you pay for it immediately. So basically, you always could still use your card. Just please always keep your balance under 9%, no matter what the percentage is. If it's $1,000, that means you can't go more than $90. Okay? I did write a little bit about it on my blog. I'm going to get a little bit more intensive with the writing. I'm having some issues in my home right now, so things are going to be slowing up just for about a week or two. But I'm really going to get to this. Even doing this podcast is pretty hard for me right now, but I'm going to do it because I want to help you, okay? So, we're going to get you a secure card. You're going to apply for it. Let's say we're going to do Discover. You're going to put in $200. First of all, you're going to apply for it. They're going to tell you yes or no. If they tell you no, just give them a call and do the reconsideration line. Because a secure card really is not going to... There's no reason for a denial, because the fact is that if they deny you, it's probably something else. Because you're giving them the $200 just in case that you screw up, And if you actually speak to somebody, then they will actually probably get you approved. You just be like, look, I just want to build my credit. I had a bad time. I learned. I already know how to use a credit card, and I really just, I'm not trying to look for any. $200 is fine with me, and I'll give you the $200 deposit, and they don't lose nothing, So, give them the $200. You get your card within 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. Now, once you get that credit card, you cannot go past 9%. So whatever your deposit is, remember, you cannot go over 9%. And if you go over 9%, you have to pay that balance immediately. If you do that within 6 months to a year, you can improve your credit by a few hundred points. Like, I'm going to be serious. Like, my friend had under 500. That's what he told me. I still say 500. He said he had it in the 400s. And now he actually has a credit score of 730. It's amazing. And I'm really proud of him because he actually listened to me. A lot of people like to do their own thing. And then, once they start doing their own thing, that's on them. That's not my plan. If you would have done my plan, you would get to a 730. Or even higher. Eventually, it's going to grow much higher than that. And he actually did my plan. He has a good, he's getting almost excellent credit, and I'm very proud of him. So I might be all over the place on this podcast. I am totally sorry if I am. If you have any questions, just send them below on my YouTube video, or send them directly to me on my site, BinanceNoobs.com, or you could go to my Twitter account, and you also could do that, and I'll be able to answer them. I'm just doing this right off the top of my head because I really want to continue doing my website and doing my blog and trying to help people out. I will get better at this. I should have wrote everything down, but like I said, this is on top of my head. So I have everything written down on my blog if this was confusing to you. Or maybe I've mentioned little pieces here and there, and then I just confused you because I was going back and forth. Okay, but I do have everything written down on this subject on my blog. I just wanted to speak about it and get it and get it taken care of, because we're gonna start getting into what to do once you start establishing credit within 6 months to a year. And I really need to start knocking these things out immediately, because I don't want to be so far behind, and I want to catch up with everything else. If you guys are interested in investing, I am starting to progress on that, also giving advice on my newsletters. I did not do last week's newsletter because, again, I'm having I'm having some issues in my home. I probably will not do a newsletter this week also, but I might do it in the middle of the week to make it up. Okay, it's mostly about investment advice, what's going on in the world within investing, what to invest to. I'm giving you some picks. My last 2 picks are doing really great. So if you actually read my newsletter, you would have been making over 10% by now. So I am really into all this stuff. I really appreciate you listening to me if you are. And thank you for listening to Anton from FinanceNoobs.com. And next week I will sound a lot more happier, a lot more motivated, and we're going to continue with our site and do much better. Okay? Thank you very much, and have a good one.